Who has the power to save me? I am so scared and my mind is busy. I have been taught so many things. Not everything agrees with the other things I have been taught. I heard that the truth could set us free. What is the truth? Can I be saved? Who can free me from my fears? I am so afraid. My name is Adama. This is my story. My mother told me that I was smart. I was always a good student in school. I was very sad that I was not allowed to finish school. I miss reading books. I miss learning things. My husband tells me that I think too much. Perhaps he means I don't think enough about him. I am married to Brima. I love him. But he's a hard man. I pity him. He was a soldier. He has had a hard time finding good work. So now he stays home and tends our small field. Or he is out drinking late into the night. He wants better things for us, but he doesn't know how to get them. He beats me! He says he wants a second wife now. I don't know if I want him to leave and not come back, or for him to just get better. But my heart says it would be better for him to be well. Our youngest daughter is Fatu. It's better to have boys. Brima was not happy to have a girl. She's my pride and joy. She's going to school now. But I worry about her. I hope she has a better life than mine. She's a good girl. Someday, she was very sick and I was afraid she was going to die. We took her to the Moriman and for a short time she got better. Then she got a lot worse. I asked my friend Mamusu to pray for her. She came and prayed for her in the name of Prophet Isa. And Fatu got better. Is this God of the Christians the same God we worship? We can see that He is a good God and shows mercy. made me to wonder if this God had more power than the spirits. I think he must have more power, right? I have a small business down at the village market. It was hard to get that work. I had to get Brima's signature on the official document. He didn't want to sign it. We had a big fight about it. He doesn't like me to be out of the house. He doesn't like it that I am the one making money for our family. But somebody has to. Fatu is too young to help much now. We know she will take good care of us when we are older. It's a good job. That is where I spend my time with Mamusu. She has a booth right next to mine. I like her a lot. She's always talking about Prophet Isa. She is married to Umaru. He is a good man. They are kind to one another. Sometimes I hate her because her relationship with her husband is so good. I know it's wrong to be jealous. Rima and I had a big fight. He says he wants that second wife now. He's so unhappy with me. I think sometimes another woman in the house could be good. Someone else to help around the house, but to take the beating. And it makes me angry. It makes me jealous. I think it's just an excuse for him to cheat on me. But what can I do about it? I started to have bad thoughts about it. I had bad dreams. I would be lost in the jungle. And every day Brima would come home telling me that he was looking for another wife. And it just made me more mad. I felt betrayed. I was trying to think about what I could do about it. Maybe if I had the right charm, maybe if I could put a spell over Brima. I thought about seeing the Moriman again, but I remembered Mamusu's prayer. Then I had a dream about Prophet Isa. He was asking me to follow him. I was confused by this, but I felt so much love coming from this man in my dreams. I decided to talk to her about my dream. She had a short movie on her phone about Prophet Isa and the death of Lazarus.
Now, a man named Lazarus was sick. He was from Bethany, the village of Mary and her sister Martha. So, the two sisters sent a message to Jesus, telling him, "Lord, your dear friend is very sick." When he heard this, Jesus said, "This sickness will not end in death. No, it is for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it." So, when he heard that Lazarus was sick, he stayed where he was 2 more days. And then he said to his disciples, "Let us go back to Judea." So then he told them plainly, "Lazarus is dead, and for your sake I am glad I was not there, so that you may believe. But let us go to him." On his arrival, Jesus found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb for 4 days. When Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went out to meet him, but Mary stayed at home. "Lord," Martha said to Jesus, "if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But I know that even now, God will give you whatever you ask." Jesus said to her, "Your brother will rise again." Martha answered, "I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day." Jesus said to her, "I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die. Do you believe this?" "Yes, Lord," she replied. "I believe that you are the Messiah, the Son of God, who is to come into the world." After she had said this, she went back and called her sister Mary aside. "The teacher is here," she said, "and is asking for you." When Mary heard this, she got up quickly and went to him. Now, Jesus had not yet entered the village, but was still at the place where Martha had met him. When Mary reached the place where Jesus was and saw him, she fell at his feet and said, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." When Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who had come along with her also weeping, he was deeply moved in spirit and troubled. "Where have you laid him?" he asked. Then the Jews said, "See how he loved him." But some of them said, "Would not he who opened the eyes of the blind man have kept this man from dying?" Jesus, once more deeply moved, came to the tomb. It was a cave with a stone laid across the entrance. Then Jesus said, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" So they took away the stone. Then Jesus looked up and said, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I knew that you always hear me, but I said this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me." When he had said this, Jesus called in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out!" A dead man came out, his hands and feet wrapped with strips of linen and clothes around his face. Jesus said to them, "Take off the grave clothes and let him go."
When she was done, I asked her why she told me that story, and she said there were 2 reasons. First, she wanted me to see how Prophet Isa loved his friend Lazarus. Sadly, Lazarus was killed a short time later, she said. Prophet Isa demonstrated his power to his people by raising him from the dead. The authorities didn't like this demonstration of Prophet Isa's power, so they had Lazarus executed to remove the evidence. Why did Prophet Isa raise him from the dead if he was just going to die anyway? The point was for Allah to receive glory for his power. Secondly, the Lord God is a jealous God. He does not want us to go seeking help from other people when we can go directly to him for our needs. She claimed that the charms and spells don't always work. Often, they make things worse. I had to think about all she said. Mamusu told me this God is the God who made us. He is able to give us all the good things we need if we let him. But like the ancient Israelites, we are often ungrateful and turn away from God. She challenged me to pray only to God for help. She told me to do what is possible and that God will do what is impossible. So I agreed. I started to pray to the Lord and no other God or spirit. She told me to pray to God in the name of the Prophet Isa. The same Prophet Isa we were taught is coming to judge us at the end of the time. I kept praying with Mamusu, and she would lay her hands on me and pray for me in the name of Prophet Isa. And slowly, over time, my heart softened for Brima. I started to realize that God loved him as much as he loves me. I now see that our Creator loves his creations. I believe that Brima was broken inside. He was like an orphan who had never known the love of his father. He was aware of all of his problems and didn't need me to remind him of his sins. He was feeling the guilt and shame of them already. He told me he would change if he could and be a better man, but he just didn't know how. I started to be more kind to Brima. I could see the good man inside of him, the son that God loved even if he was misbehaving, the son that God wanted to come back to him. Because God is our Father, He made all of us and we are His children, and a good father loves his children. Hey! What is this? One day, I woke up to find Patu had died in her sleep. My pride and joy. We don't know how. I cried out to God for her to be raised from the dead. She sat there, lifeless in my arms, unmoving. And I was angry at God for taking my daughter away from me. My heart went to a very dark place, like my jungle dreams, lost and alone. I was afraid. I thought that God must hate me. I was so hurt inside that I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to walk. I started hating everyone. I just wanted to die. I didn't want to talk to Mamusu anymore. I hated her vision of God and her talk. Why did my baby die? Why didn't God just bring her back from the dead? But she persisted in being a good friend. Slowly, over time, we would take walks together, and she explained many things to me. She said Prophet Isa was a man without sin, and that we had nailed him to a cross. Because he was innocent, he was a perfect sacrifice for our sins. God then raised him from the dead, because he didn't deserve to die at our hands. God understands the pain of losing a child. He has made a way for us to be reunited with our children too in the next life. We can see them again, if only we will trust in Prophet Isa to reunite us in heaven through his sacrifice. I wanted to believe Mamusu. I wanted to see my Fatu again. It is such a good story, but my mind was clouded with fear. As if this misery was not enough, then Brima was attacked. He was out late one night, probably in the wrong place at the wrong time. Maybe he was up to no good. I never knew who did it. The healers helped him as best they could and gave him their medicines. And there was nothing else for him to do until he healed. All of my fears were happening. Soon Brima would die and leave me home alone to die myself. I was haunted in my sleep. I was haunted when I woke up. I didn't know what to do. Who can save me? I was desperate. I invited Mamusu and Umaru to come and pray for Brima. They were happy to do it. They would sit and pray for Brima for a long time. I wanted to pray, but I was too afraid. Umaru would share recordings from the Bible. Brima wasn't getting better, but he was happy for the company of our friends.
Jesus found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb for 4 days. When Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went out to meet him, but Mary stayed at home. Lord, Martha said to Jesus, if you had been here, my brother will not have died. But I know that even now, God will give you whatever you ask.
I had another dream. It felt like a test. The Morima's magic charms were in my hands, but they felt dead to me. Could they bring healing to Brima? They didn't help Fatu when she was sick. The charm in my hand started to burn. My hand burst into flames. It spread to my whole body. I was burning alive. A light appeared. It was Isa and Save me! I felt that Allah was giving me a choice. He was saying to me in my spirit,
choose this day whom you will serve. Will you fear me and me alone? Or will you chase after the spirit who neither made you nor loved you? Follow me, and I will cast out your fear.
I cried out, save me, save me! And he did. The fear was gone. I got up feeling like a new woman. Mamusu gave me the Bible. I was fascinated. It was good to read again. And I started reading the Bible to Brima. I found a story about how Prophet Isa raised his friend Lazarus from the dead. He liked that story. I then explained to Brima that sometimes he feels dead inside. He wants to die because he is hurting inside, dying inside, afraid and alone, but that we want him to live. That if this prophet Isa could raise Lazarus from the dead, and if he could take away my fear, I believe he could also make my Brima better. Brima was desperate for help. When I asked him if I could pray for him in the name of Isa, he surprised me and said yes. And I started to pray that God will heal him, not just his wounds, but his soul. Not just his body, but his whole spirit. And it took time, but Brima got better. Not just healed from his wounds, but healed in his soul. We heard that in the Bible it says, we are to fear the Lord our God, serve him only, and take our oaths in his name. We believe that God has the power to save us, the love to unite us, and a path for our lives through Isa Al-Masih. Teachers encouraged us to read the Holy Book, and I'm glad that I did. I am seeing a bigger picture of the world that God made. A world where God is a good father to his children he made. God is powerful and strong and able to heal us from the inside out. I now fear this God of the Holy Books. I know he is the only one who has the power to save us. I have seen this in my own life. I pray to him, and only to him. He is healing our hearts and changing our lives. I urge you to find someone to help you to understand this for yourself.